Good evening, people. How are you doing today? I hope you are enjoying the time and doing the preparation in the right manner. Well, this is an India Airbook series, 2016 series going on, and till now we have done first 12 chapters. In this video, we'll do chapter number 13 and 14. Now, this one is finance chapter in India Airbook. So if you like our video, you hit like, comment, subscribe to our channel, and all those things which I said. Say in every video in the initial and end time, right? So now in this finance chapter, we start. There are certain things which are giving basically in your economy and in your polity portion. So this chapter will deal with the budget. So all those things you need to look into from the economy perspective, from the polity, as you read Lakshmikant or whatever the book you read, you refer for economic portion. So we have this finance. So Ministry of Finance, it has 5 departments. So see, we will do topic by topic, but I won't go through in detail. I won't go through in detail of all the topics, because otherwise it will be very huge or very huge lecture it will be, because small things I won't discuss them again. Just I will help you in the revision part. If you're done with the polity, if you're done with economy, so it will help you in revising those concepts. Alright, so here we see, and where I find which is specifically particularly given in India Airbook, that I will give more focus. So in Ministry of Finance there are 5 departments, as we have done in the first lecture as well. Which 5 departments? Department of Economic Affairs, Department of Expenditure, Department of Revenue, Department of Disinvestment, and finally 5th, Financial Services. Now this Department of Disinvestment, it has been renamed this year in the budget. They have said it is DIPAM, that is Department of Investment and Public Asset Management. Now this Department of Economic Affairs, this is the most important department of Ministry of Finance. So major economic policy making decisions are taken by Department of Economic Affairs. So this is the most important department of Ministry of Finance. So even the budget making exercise is done by which department? Department of Economic Affairs in Ministry of Finance. Alright, so you can go through it. So budget is called in our constitution, basically it is known by annual financial statement, mentioned under which article? Article 112. So what budget is actually? If you see, budget is a statement of estimated receipts and expenditure of Government of India, and that is laid before the Parliament in every financial year. So it is a statement of receipts, estimated receipts and expenditure. Right? Why estimated? Because it is for the coming financial year. So they estimate. Now this is a kind of narrow definition if you see of budget or annual financial statement. Budget also decides, or it also kind of policy making tool. It is also a kind of playing the role of fiscal policy of the government, because it also showcases what's the government plan in the coming 1 year, how this receipt will be raised, how these resources will be raised from the economy, and where the existing resources, the raised resources, will be spent back in the economy. So the planning on all these stays, how it will be done in the coming 1 year, it is decided. Now say the government accounts are kept in consolidated fund, you know it, contingency fund, public accounts. What are those? CFI, you know, any money raised or spent. So that goes into CFI, any money to be withdrawn from CFI that needs parliamentary approval. Contingency fund, it is at the disposal. So for consolidated fund, it needs parliamentary approval. That's why budget is there, Appropriation Act is passed to authorize government to spend the money. So budget is not only the estimated receipt and the expenditure, it also authorizes the government to spend that money, because in the budget exercise, Appropriation Act is passed that authorize the government to spend the money. Contingency fund. Now, in case of the urgent situation, emergency kind of situation, so there should be some money available, amount of money available at the disposal of the government executives, so that you can spend without even taking approval from the parliament. So at the disposal of the president, because who is head of the executives? President. How much corpus of fund is? Rupees 500 crores. So whenever amount is spent from contingency, again it has to be withdrawn from CFI and put up into contingency fund. Now in the, you can say, the public accounts, so the transactions like the provident funds, small saving collections and all the deposits, they are deposited into public accounts. Now moreover, you also give just attention here that a part of the revenue of the government is set apart in separate funds for expenditure on specific objects like road development, primary education, including midday meal schemes. So these kind of, they are also set up separately, so that these amounts are withdrawn from CFI with the approval of Parliament and kept in public accounts for expenditure on the specific objects. Demand for grants. So there are various stages within the budget. If you see, in the first time, it is at first stage, it is presentation of budget. So once you do this, you open your Lakshmikant and see how the budget is passed. So first stage, presentation of budget, then general discussion. Then after general discussion, the budget is given to departmental standing committees. Those committees, they scrutinize the budget. Then next is demand for grants. So standing committees, they help the parliamentarians to understand the budget in a more fair manner, so that it could lead to a better debate and discussion within the parliament. The demand for grants. So here, these are demands for grants, means how much money. So every other department, they have certain demands. So every other department within the ministry, they demands for some money to be given to them. So that is grant. So these are separate demand for grants, and these are being discussed separately and voted upon. And when these are passed, they become grants. And within this step only, when voting upon demand for grants happen, then there are various kind of three kind of cut motions are brought. If you remember, policy cut, economic cut, token cut. So go through that again in the polity. Finance bill. What finance bill is? So what happens actually after demand for grants is passed, appropriation bill is passed. Because see here in demand for grants, separate demands for grants are discussed separately and voted upon, right? And after it, appropriation bill is passed. So when appropriation bill is passed, then it authorizes the government to spend that money, to withdraw that money and spend that money from CFI, because no money can be withdrawn from CFI without enactment of such a law by Parliament, it says. So it has to be passed. Now if you remember correctly, that in appropriation bill, you cannot amend the demand for grants. You cannot amend the various demands. Why? Because they have already been voted upon. So there is no amendment is permitted here. So after passing appropriation bill, then there is finance bill. In finance bill, it authorizes the government to raise resources by putting on various kind of taxes. So can finance bill be amended? Yes, but only to reduce the taxes, not to increase the taxes. Now you need to differentiate this finance bill from the financial bill. So in polity, there is a term financial bill. Financial bill type 1, financial bill type 2. So this finance bill is different. This is not a financial, this is not the same one as we read in type 1 and type 2. Here this finance bill is a money bill actually, and a specific term used in the budget, right? So just remember from this perspective that finance bill is a term used in the budget, and basically it is a money bill. Alright, so all finance bills, so finance bill is a money bill, you can say this. So you can read this article 110. Definitely you know it. So you can read it again from the polity part. Vote on account. Vote on account, it means as the budget making exercise takes time, but so it may take till month of April or May, but definitely within the meantime, after the financial year ends, after 31st of March, then how the government will spend, how the government expenditure will carry on. So vote on account is to give certain amount of money to the government, authorize the government a particular amount of money to maintain the meantime expenditures. So that is vote on account. Public debt and other liabilities, internal debt, you know about it. So how internal debt, so there are two kind of debts for the government: internal debt, external debt. So it's the economy portion. So for your understanding, internal debt, so government raises or government fills up this debt by raising resources from the internal market, from the domestic market. How? By issuing securities, that is fixed tenure and fixed rate government securities, government papers, dated securities and treasury bills. So you see these market loans, dated securities, treasury bills of 91, 182, 364 days. So you see you double it every time, 91, then double of it, 182, double of it, 364 days. And 14 days treasury bills, so these are issued to state governments only. Various other kind of things these are mentioned, you can read them again. Then external debt. So external debt, these are basically they represent government debt which it raises from the various external sources. For example, other governments, foreign governments, and multilateral institutions like IMF, World Bank, and all these. So basically, it comes out as a part of ODA, Official Development Assistance. So you can see here, Reserve Bank of India, it manages the public debt of central and state government and also acts as a banker to them under the provision of RBI Act 1934. So RBI functions many purposes. It has many functions, in fact. So RBI is banker to the banks, it is banker to the government. It also manages the public debt of central and state government and acts as a banker to the government. Who maintains balance of payment? RBI. Who maintains forex? RBI. So all these are works of RBI. From Jan Dhan to Jan Suraksha, so 3 basic social security schemes that were launched last year. One is Pradhan Mantri Suraksha Bima Yojana, secondly Pradhan Mantri Jeevan Jyoti Bima Yojana, and third Atal Pension Yojana. So Suraksha Bima Yojana, it talks about accidental death insurance, death risk of rupees 2 lakh. So here in case of the accidental death or permanent disability due to the accident. So it is there, if it full permanent disability, it is the rupees 2 lakh. If it is partial disability, it is rupees 1 lakh. And you understand just the premium is 12 rupees per annum. So 1 rupee per month is the premium. Atal Pension Yojana, and these schemes will come up again in the detail once we go ahead in this chapter. Atal Pension Yojana, so co-contribution of the beneficiary as well. Age limit 18 to 40 years of age. So any person can join from 18 to 40 years of age, and the person will start getting pension post once he or she reaches 60 years. So pension will depend on contribution of the beneficiary. Government will also contribute 50% of the beneficiary's premium, but limiting to 1,000 rupees each year for 5 years for new accounts opened before December 31st, 2015. The next one is Pradhan Mantri Jeevan Jyoti Bima Yojana. It is for both natural and accidental death risk of rupees 2 lakh is the premium. So 2 lakh is the insurance. Premium of rupees 330 per annum, and age group for which it is eligible is 18 to 50 years. So you can see this Atal Pension Yojana, here age limit 18 to 40 years. Pradhan Mantri Jeevan Jyoti Bima Yojana is for age group of 18 to 50 years. And for Suraksha Bima Yojana, it is for 18 to 70 years. For Green India, National Mission for Green India is there. Now, how Green India is to be achieved, going for the renewable energy dependence more and more over it. So target for our energy, renewable energy dependence is, as you see many times, total target is of 1,75,000 megawatts by 2022. So by making it to reach to 175 gigawatt. If you see the segmentation of this, how this 175 gigawatt will be achieved. So 100 gigawatt by solar, 60 gigawatt by wind, 10 gigawatt by biomass, and 5 gigawatt by small hydro. And how much we have right now for solar? Somewhere around 6,000 megawatt. And for wind, it is around 26,000 megawatt. So maximum present renewable installed capacity is of wind, that is 26,000 megawatt. So very highly ambitious target we are having for the renewable energy. Skill India for Grameen, you have Deen Dayal Upadhyay Grameen Kaushal Yojana. Just remember this thing only. It will come somewhere else in this India book. Then for scholarship and education loan program, that is Pradhan Mantri Vidya Lakshmi Karyakram, it was launched last year. In the budget it was mentioned last year, then it was launched. So if you can remember this, well and good, else you can leave it. Then you can see SEBI Prohibition of Insider Trading Regulation 2015. So it says the rules were framed and to deter practice of insider trading. You understand, I believe, insider trading, what it is. So if anybody who is part of the management and taking the decisions at the top level, so the person knows about major decisions to be taken from the company. So he has the information and could use this information for his or her own benefit by buying shares or selling shares according to the decision of the company. So this is insider trading. So this is banned. So to prohibit or to deter the practice of insider trading, SEBI regulations were brought. Now, where you can use this kind of information or something like this, somewhere in ethics paper, GS paper 4, because it is part of a corporate governance to bring more and more transparency within the, and more morality and ethics within the corporate governance as well. But for prelims, you don't need to give stress on this. For ECB, what ECB is better to you read it from Economic Survey, External Commercial Borrowing. However, what ECB is, External Commercial Borrowing, who actually pursue this platform for the borrowing purpose. So I just make you recall what all the things from where the ECB comes, right? So if you remember, balance of payment is there. In balance of payment, you have two accounts. One is current account, another is capital account. In current account, you have balance of trade. So this balance of trade deals with trade in goods. Then you have balance of invisibles within the current account. It deals with trade in services and other things like education, remittances, right? It deals in the medical tourism, all these kind of things. In capital account, so balance of payment, two account, current account, capital account. In current account, balance of trade and balance of invisibles. Then capital account. In capital account, you have the investments like FDI, FPI. Then you have the borrowings from the international institutions. So borrowing by the government, borrowing by the private. So if the private borrows, it borrows in the various forms. For example, ECB, external commercial borrowings, right? So external commercial borrowings, it happens. So if any Indian company wants to borrow from international market in dollars, so it could borrow from those companies, those banks, the international market at a certain rate that is benchmarked with LIBOR, London Interbank Offer Rate. So any basis points over and above LIBOR is decided over to regarding the interest rate of under ECB. That depends upon the ratings of the company and so many other factors as well. Tomorrow, just go through the rulings of or go through the various parts within the ECB, then foreign currency convertible bonds. All these are part of your economy, basic economics syllabus. And foreign portfolio investment. Then this foreign portfolio investment, again you read it from economic survey. Right now, earlier our government used to term them as FII. Now it is a foreign portfolio investment. Security Appellate Tribunal set. So Securities Appellate Tribunal, so it was established under the Security Exchange Board of India Act 1992. So it is a statutory authority. Moreover, the functions that are performed under SEBI Act, PFRDA Act, Insurance Act and other laws time being in force. Now so any of the decision by the SEBI that can be challenged in SAT, Securities Appellate Tribunal. Now the SAT is not bound by procedure laid down by Code of Civil Procedure. However, in practice it is guided by principle of natural justice. If you remember, the same thing is for NGT as well, National Green Tribunal. So they are also not bound by Code of Civil Procedure. They work on the principle of natural justice. So here also the same thing. Now you can see here that the civil courts, they do not have any jurisdiction to entertain any suit or proceedings in respect of any matter which SAT is empowered to determine. And no injunction can be granted by any court or any other authority in respect of any action taken or to be taken in pursuance of any power conferred upon the tribunal under SEBI Act. And any aggrieved party against the decision of SAT can be challenged in Supreme Court. So I believe you understand SAT, Securities Appellate Tribunal. Just understand basic things, statutory authority it is. So any person can go against the SEBI under this SAT, Securities Appellate Tribunal, and further the person can go to approach Supreme Court, guided by principle of natural justice and not bounded by Code of Civil Procedures. FMC, Forward Markets Commission. Now if you remember that last year FMC was merged with SEBI, right? So as FMC was merged, here it is given that Financial Sector Legislative Reform Commission. So this commission, that is FSLRC, it recommended, and accordingly the Forward Market Commission was merged with SEBI to strengthen regulation and development of commodities derivative markets. So FMC was not performing efficiently, Forward Market Commission. So to enhance efficiency and to use the leverage or to use the expertise and or you can say as SEBI had been playing the role of regulator very efficiently, using the expertise of SEBI in that. So FMC has been merged so that to enhance efficiency and expertise and all these things with SEBI. Then you see commodity exchange, the futures. So there are 6 national exchanges currently. So people who invest in the futures, they earn money from this. But now what is benefit to the farmers? Now the farmers, they benefit from the price signals, because the future market, they tell what kind of prices can be predicted in the future of the various commodities. So price signals can be determined and farmers take benefit of this. How the benefit can be taken? Now this future market, they lead to reduction in amplitude of seasonal price variation. So fluctuation in prices that get reduced and help the farmers realize a better price at the time of harvest. Now the farmer that knows that what could be the expected price of a particular agriculture commodity at a particular season, then though it could vary as well depending upon so many other climatic factors, but definitely it tells about the pattern some way, right? So the farmer can plan in advance that which crop to cultivate, right? What kind of investment is one to take, so planning his cultivation in advance, determining kind of crop. So all these advanced information, this could be used for the advantage of farmers by getting a certain kind of price trends in future. Moreover, by providing the manufacturer and the bulk consumers a mechanism for covering price risk, the future market induces them to pay higher prices to the producer, because as the need to pass on the price risk to farmers is obviated. So farmers, they get benefit by getting more information, more awareness about the price trends in the market. Now here we have this inland navigation water resources. So you see a new project on the river Ganga named by Jal Marg Vikas. So Jal Marg Vikas. So developing which national waterway? National waterway number 1. So national waterway number 1 is on which river? Ganga river. From which place to which place? It is from Haldia to Allahabad. National waterway number 1. So Jal Marg Vikas project, you should know it directly if it comes in exam. Jal Marg Vikas project on which river? Ganga river. Which waterway? National waterway number 1. Secondly, integrated Ganga conservation mission known by Namami Gange. Third, beautification of ghats, river fronts. This is also taken at various ghats like Kedarnath, Haridwar, Kanpur, Varanasi, Patna, New Delhi and Allahabad. So beautification of ghats and river fronts is also carried forward. Power sector, here ultra supercritical coal-based thermal power technology to be launched. What do you mean by this ultra supercritical? So these are coal-based thermal power plants only, right? But ultra supercritical means the efficiency is enhanced. So even enhancing the efficiency is beneficial on the multiple ways. One thing is cost will come down, as now less coal will be utilized for generating the same amount of power. Moreover, as now less coal is utilized for generating same amount of power, so means less emission is there for producing the same amount of electricity. So even going for enhancing the efficiency and going for ultra supercritical coal-based, so though these are coal-based, but these are ways to reduce emissions. Then we have ultra mega solar power projects, and these you see solar power, ultra mega, so means of higher capacity, higher installed capacity. At what places? You see Rajasthan, Gujarat, Tamil Nadu and Ladakh. So focus on Ladakh because you may mark it wrong. You see like Ladakh, how in Ladakh we are focusing our solar power project, but definitely we are ultra mega solar power project, and these places are to be set up. Rajasthan and Gujarat, definitely, you know, these are of more probable places. Tamil Nadu as well in the south region, more sunlight. Now Ladakh as well. Then next is Deen Dayal Upadhyay Gram Jyoti Yojana. We have done it already in the power chapter. So for feeder separation, ensuring 24/7 electricity supply to all the habitations, rural. FDA policy on power exchange. And I see ultra mega power projects is of 4,000 megawatts. So you know, when it comes ultra mega power projects, what is the capacity? 4,000 megawatts. So now it is linked with the old plug and play mode. Means just you come with the investment, no much hassle. You can directly start very smooth clearances and all, and transparent auction. So if you remember, try to recall what all projects that are there in the ultra mega power projects. You see Sasan in MP, Mundra in Gujarat, Krishnapatnam, Andhra, Tilaiya in Jharkhand. So these are certain places if you remember. Industry EBs, you know this. Tax-free bonds, what do you mean by it's a way actually to generate more resources for infrastructure projects. So now for infrastructure bonds, so they have been given the status of tax-free, and basically in 3 sectors: roadways, railways and irrigation. So to attract more and more funds, to attract more and more resources in these sectors, tax-free status has been given to infrastructure bonds. So this will also deepen the corporate bond market. And come to this one, debottlenecking of stalled projects. So the government initiated project monitoring group about a couple of years ago, I think in 2013. And this project monitoring group, it is to ensure smooth investment coming in the projects and to ensure the project that don't get stalled. If you have read the last year economic survey, it has said that major factor that is obstructing our growth. So there are very big projects out there, but these are stored somewhere in between. The investor, they have invested the money in those projects, but now they have got stalled because of various reasons, including the, for example, clearances and all. So as the investment has already been there, that is not returning back because that is not in the functioning, it's stalled. The industrialist is also not able to pay back the money that he has taken from the banks, also further accentuating the problem of NPAs. So huge issues there are attached with the stalled projects. So it was given last year that if our government somehow clears the top 100 projects by value, then around 80% of the stalled project problem could be solved. So for the purpose we have project monitoring group. So project monitoring group, it actually helps to track the stalled investment projects both in public and private sectors and to remove implementation bottlenecks in these projects. So initially it was instituted under Cabinet Secretariat, but later on it was moved under PMO. So presently we have this project monitoring group under PMO. So how you can utilize this information if it comes in prelims, directly have a brief idea where this project monitoring group is under PMO. Secondly, what the main function is: to help in the EG clearances, to help in the hand-holding exercise along with the Invest India. So Invest India to attract more and more investment. So to help somehow the issues coming under the stalling of the projects and ensuring their smooth clearances. Where else you can use this? Now this can be used somewhere if you're writing certain question, if question comes regarding in the economy part, certain issues from the certain issues, for example, red tapeism and all, and how the government works over to curb the red tapeism. So this is a way, in fact, project monitoring group. So there are various hurdles in the government functionary, but this kind of initiative actually smoothens the government process, increases investors' confidence in the policy making of the government, in our economy. So you can use this in the good governance somewhere, or you can use it somewhere in ethics paper as well, for increasing more and more transparency, because it will be online, right? Regarding FDA policy, So FDA policy, who deals with FDA policy? Who makes up FDA policy? It is not FIPB, it is DIPP. Yeah, so you need to differentiate between these things. FDA policy, when there were, you may have seen through FDA in the various FDI rules and regulations. So certain limitations are there. For example, 49%, 26%. So if it is automatic route, then no need for approval. If it is FIPB route, so it means approval need to be taken from FIPB, right? But FIPB is Foreign Investment Promotion Board. So under which ministry FIPB functions? Ministry of Finance, definitely. But which institution is entrusted with the task of making the FDA policy? Then it is DIPP. And DIPP functions under which ministry? Ministry of Commerce. So remember these few things. Now come to this particular paragraph, it is an important one. So there are certain sectors which are prohibited for FDI. So these are 8 sectors, and in fact 10 including those sectors which are not open for private sector investment even. So go through them one by one. First, lottery business. Secondly, gambling and betting, business of chit fund, nidhi company, trading in transferable development rights, TDRs, real estate business or construction of farmhouses, manufacturing of cigars, cheroots, cigarillos and cigarettes of tobacco or tobacco substitutes. Just remember cigarettes and tobacco products, that's it. Activity sector not open to private sector investment, for example atomic energy and railway operations. So these are various sectors where FDI is prohibited. Go through them again and again and remember them. Even by your basic knowledge you will be able to guess it out, but you may mark it incorrect if you haven't read it. So what it is? Lottery, gambling, betting, chit fund, nidhi company, TDRs, real estate business. The foreigner cannot invest money in the real estate here, in buying the properties and all. Then moreover, in the cigars, in cigarettes and tobacco products. Then sectors which are not open to private sector. So atomic energy and railway operations. So even the Indian companies, they cannot invest in atomic energy and railway operations. So how FDI can be allowed, right? So these are various sectors where FDI is prohibited. Learn them. So you can see different sectors and various FDI cap are given and route. Defense industry is important, but this is not the correct data as it has been revised recently. Last month, government came with the relaxed norms in the defense FDA policy and the various ones, civil aviation as well, broadcasting, on the different ways. So our government has reformed FDA policy on the many sectors recently. So in defense industry, what is the present status? 49% is automatic, and above 49% till 100%. So here if you see what is written there, if it is likely to result in access to modern and state-of-the-art technology in the country. Now this term state of art is removed. So what is remaining there? That is only modern technology. So the present status is what? Up to 49% automatic route, above 49% it is decided case to case basis, where modern technology, so that is government approval route, in case modern technology is coming to our country. Civil aviation, now again it has been revised. We'll go through these portions once in the coming videos where separately we'll discuss them. So in the brown field, in the green field, 100% have been done. Green field it was already 100%, in brown field 100% has been done. Moreover, if you remember about that, the foreign airline though cannot own an Indian airline, can invest maximum 49%, but rest can come up by certain foreign investors. Insurance 49%, pension 49%. Same, so for insurance and pension, both same data, 49% limit, and up to 26% is automatic, and above 26 till 49 it is under FIPB route. That's it. So you can see here again, insurance 49%, up to 26% automatic, above 26 till 49 approval route. Approval route means FIPB approval route. So here the case will go to FIPB. Pension 49% till 26% automatic, above FIPB. Come to FIPB, Foreign Investment Promotion Board. So FIPB, it is a single window clearance for FDI proposals. So it helps in the various kind of FDI proposals, clearance of those. So if there is FIPB route, so the case goes to FIPB, it handles with the issue and helps in the clearances. So single window clearance for FDI proposals. But those proposals where FIPB approval is required. If it is automatic, no need to go for FIPB approval. And this FIPB, it comprises of core group of secretaries of so many departments. See, Department of Economic Affairs, Department of Industrial Policy and Promotion, Ministry of Small Scale Industry, so many departments are there. Of these departments, secretaries, they comprise the FIPB. Now see, the most important department is which one? Department of Economic Affairs. So FIPB chaired by Secretary of Department of Economic Affairs. And it comes under which ministry? Ministry of Finance. Now see here, FDA proposals seeking FIPB approval are handled in this department. We have discussed this. But proposals of NRI investment, foreign technology transfer, trademark agreement, and FDI in 100% EOU are handled in Department of Industrial Policy and Promotion. So here the role of DIPP is there. So you see FIPB and DIPP. So you need to differentiate role of both of these. In general case, FIPB handles the FDI clearances of FDI cases, right? Investment of those. Whereas for NRI investment, and if any investment that includes foreign technology transfer, trademark agreement, and FDI in 100% EOU, external operating units, there DIPP has a role. Moreover, as I just told you a couple of minutes before, that is a DIPP which handles FDI policy and FDI data. So it's quite interesting, as these two departments, they are having the role over same concept FDI, but different segments handled by the different departments. So FDI policy, FDI data handled by DIPP, even the FDI where there is technology transfer and NRI investment, again DIPP, but in general case FDI proposals are cleared by FIPB. Then we have National Investment and Infrastructure Fund. So again, to attract more funds in the infrastructure, the government has established National Investment and Infrastructure Fund. So to maximize economic impact, mainly through infrastructure development in commercially viable projects, both greenfield and brownfield, including stalled one. So it will reinvest in equity, quasi-equity support to those NBFC. So you can just go through one, so you can leave it. Then gold monetization scheme and sovereign gold bond scheme. There is nothing much given here in India book. Go through them by economic survey. I'll just give you a brief understanding of both of these schemes. Gold monetization scheme, basically it was launched to attract the gold that is lying idle in the households of India, because our family, our households they are too much attached with the gold. Right now, thing is what? So people, they can open the metal account in the banks and they can deposit their gold. That gold will be melted and form in a kind of bar and all, and that would be supplied in the supply chain regarding the gold in making gems and jewelry or whatever the way. And the account holder will get interest, has the option to get interest both in the gold or in, so the person can interest in the gold as well or in the rupees as he demands. So the principal as well as interest can be claimed in gold or in rupees. The purpose is to reduce our gold imports because we depend a lot on imported gold and this is despite the fact a huge amount of gold is lying idle in our households. So to bring that gold lying idle in our households in economy. So this is the basic purpose of gold monetization scheme. Sovereign gold bond scheme, this is for those people who invest, who actually buy gold for the investment purpose. So government says there's no need to buy gold for investment because if somebody buy gold for investment, again it reduces the gold from the economy cycle. So again we have to import more and more. So it says, why don't you buy a bond? They will attract the same amount of money as the gold has. So that is sovereign gold bond scheme. So this is the basics behind both of these schemes. Now there are multilateral relations. There is G20. So G20 is what? Is a forum of finance ministers and central bank governance. So you need to remember these. So it's a forum of what? Finance ministers and central bank governors. So earlier the most industrialized nations, they were in the form of G8 and they were deciding the major economic policy and all, so many different things actually governing the economy of the whole world. But later on, as the focus shifted or the balance shifted from the developed economies to the emerging economies, because now emerging economies started playing more and more role, more influential role in the global economy. So in that case, the economic governance that focused now that shifted its focus from G8 to G20. And I can see here Turkey took over G20 chair in December 14 from Australia. So the last G20 meeting was held in Turkey, Antalya. So just take you to my OneNotes. I believe you can find certain information there. Come to IR section. Here we have international organizations. So take you certain summits, you should know about it, where this summit was held where. G20, the 10th summit was held in Turkey in 2015, where it was held, Antalya. So remember these because last year a question was asked, that is Fortaleza, where Fortaleza is. Fortaleza is in Brazil. Why was it asked last year? Because in 2014 BRICS Summit was held there, right? So you should know this, where Antalya. So maybe the question comes where Antalya is. So you should know this. It's in Turkey. Why is it in news? G20 Summit was held in 2015 there. Now in 2016, in the September first week, the next G20 Summit is going to be held in Hangzhou in China. So remember both of these, Hangzhou and Antalya, regarding G20. Then there is a grouping G8. G8 is a grouping of 8 highly industrialized nations. These are these 8 nations. But now the G8, if you see, so major economies of the world, France, Germany, Italy, UK, Japan, US, Canada. Now Russia is no more the member, so now we call, so G8, sometimes now it is called a G7 actually. So now G8 is no more as its acronym, now it is G7, because now Russia, it was suspended after it attacked Crimea. So how many countries now in G7? 7 countries. So in these 7 countries, so G8, these 8 countries were there, but Russia suspended, so now G8 has become G7. Now if you see these countries, outside Europe, there are 3 countries: Canada, US, and Japan. Within Europe, UK, France, Germany, and Italy. So these 4 major economies of Europe. So I believe you can remember them very easily. It's UK, France, Germany, and Italy. So these 4 from Europe, then US, Canada, and Japan. So these 7 countries. Moreover, European Union is also represented within G8. So European Union, though it is not as a part of exact member, but it is also being represented there. It also takes part in the summits that are held. So European Union is also there. So take you East Asia Summit. So East Asia Summit. So now there are 18 members, 18 countries. Earlier, initially, it was 16 countries in East Asian, South East Asian, and South Asian region. So East Asia Summit. So how many countries are there? Presently 18 countries. Basically, it included earlier from the East Asia, Southeast Asia, South Asia. But our members have extended, even included US, Russia, and the meetings are held after annual ASEAN meetings. In 15, it was held in Kuala Lumpur. So remember where Kuala Lumpur is? Malaysia. And next meeting in September, that is in Laos. Now I tell you certain more important information. Come to BRICS. So see here, 6th summit in Brazil, where Fortaleza. So Fortaleza, here it was held the 6th summit, the BRICS Summit. So it was asked in 2015, last year prelims, where Fortaleza is. So it's in Brazil. Now last summit in 2015 was held in Russia, where in Ufa. So you need to remember this thing as they asked where Fortaleza is, because it's not a city that is quietly commonly known, right, or very well known. So definitely you need to remember. So Ufa, again, you may not heard about it. So again, go for Ufa. Where Ufa is? It's in Russia. Just give me a moment, I show you as well where Ufa is. I believe I have map of Russia. Yes, here is it. Here it is. So you can see here is Ufa. So you can see here is Moscow, another important city, Ufa for our importance. And here it is St. Petersburg. Here is Murmansk, northernmost or operable port, you can say. Here is Murmansk, here it is St. Petersburg, here it is Moscow, Ufa. So arrange north to south: Murmansk, St. Petersburg, Moscow, and Ufa. Arrange west to east: Moscow, then Ufa. So whenever you see certain important places, nowadays they're asking questions like north to south, west to east, like this. So locate them in maps and try to remember them. So we again go through Murmansk, St. Petersburg, Moscow, Ufa. West to east: Moscow, Ufa. And they give options, very broad options in fact. Even certain times, generally the options are from outside, from the different countries in fact. Ufa, then you ask certain name of place within the European country. or from certain other Central Asian country, then try to arrange them from north to south. So that will be very easy question for you people if you have gone through them. Now BRICS Bank, it was launched, BRICS Bank, right? So it is known by which name? New Development Bank, NDB. Its headquarters in Shanghai. Important it is NDB, New Development Bank. This New Development Bank headquarters in Shanghai, and the first president is what? Who? KV Kamath. So it's KV Kamath is an Indian. So India is from India. Now he's representing as president of NDB. AIIB, Asian Infrastructure and Investment Bank, headquarters Beijing. SAARC, member countries of SAARC. You see our neighbors: Afghanistan, Bangladesh, Bhutan, India, Nepal, Maldives, Pakistan and Sri Lanka. So these are countries which are members of SAARC. So how many countries are there? 8 countries: Afghanistan, Bangladesh, Bhutan, India, Nepal, Maldives, Pakistan and Sri Lanka. Mind it, Myanmar is not part of SAARC, but this Myanmar is given observer status. Secretariat in Kathmandu, and the regional integration SAFTA is there. So SAFTA is representing what? South Asian nations, South Asian Free Trade Area. So the observer status has been given to Australia, China, European Union, Iran, Japan, Mauritius, Myanmar, South Korea and USA. So these are countries which have got observer status. Summits. In 2014 the summit was held in Kathmandu. The next summit in 2016 will be held in Islamabad. That's it. So we're doing G20. So G20, the last meeting in 2014 was held in Antalya, Turkey. BRICS, you've done this. So last one in Ufa in Russia. New Development Bank. Purpose will mobilize resources for infrastructure and sustainable development projects in BRICS and other emerging economies and developing countries. So the question can come, you should make sure it is not only for the BRICS countries, but also including other emerging economies and developing countries. And it will complement the existing efforts of multilateral and regional financial institutions while working for global growth and development. India's nominee, Shri KV Kamath, has been elected as the first president of the bank. And the idea was first promoted by India at BRICS Summit held in New Delhi. AIIB, we know. So NDB, headquarters, where the headquarters is, NDB. And where the headquarters of AIIB. NDB headquarters in Shanghai, AIIB headquarters in Beijing. Now come to certain social security schemes. There are 3 important schemes that were launched last year: Atal Pension Yojana, Pradhan Mantri Suraksha Bima Yojana, Pradhan Mantri Jeevan Jyoti Bima Yojana. So these are important certain social security schemes. Also Mudra Yojana is also important scheme. We will also go through it. So Atal Pension Yojana, here it is for the pension. So for pension you have to join early. So 18 to 40 years. And the pension to be received once a person reaches 60 years. So you see, the last age for a person to join Atal Pension Yojana is 40 years, because 18 to 40 is the age group in which a person can join. And from when that person will start getting pension? When the person reaches 60 years. So how many till the minimum period for which one has to contribute is 20 years, 40 to 60, right? Now in this, the pension will depend on contribution of the beneficiary. So the beneficiary subscriber contribution. Now moreover, government will also contribute 50% of it, but that has a limitation till maximum how much the government will contribute, and the pension will vary from 1,000 to 5,000 rupees. So you can see, especially for poor and underprivileged, depending on the contribution and its period, and it will focus on all citizens in unorganized sector. So this is the important one, focused on the unorganized sector, who join the National Pension Service administered by the Pension PFRDL. Moreover, existing Swavlamban subscriber, if eligible, they may automatically migrate it to APY with an option to opt out. So a person who is getting benefit under Swavlamban scheme, that is also for unorganized workers. So that person can go to Atal Pension Yojana, but if a person wants to move out of it, he has the option to move out, opt out. Pradhan Mantri Jeevan Jyoti Bima Yojana. So Jeevan Jyoti Bima Yojana, it is death due to any reason, and insurance of 2 lakh rupees. The age group for which a person is eligible is 18 to 50 years. Life cover up to 55 years. Premium 330 rupees per annum. So it means, and it is renewable every year in fact. So it means it is even less than 1 rupee a day. So the statement, if the statement comes, the premium for Pradhan Mantri Jeevan Jyoti Bima Yojana is less than 1 rupee a day. So though it is not coming directly as premium of 330 rupees per annum, but it is same thing, less than 1 rupee a day. The next is Pradhan Mantri Suraksha Bima Yojana, age group of 18 to 70 years, auto debit. Jan Dhan Yojana, you know about this, opening the accounts of the people and going for financial inclusion. Then come to Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana. So Mudra Yojana is basically to refinance. It's kind of refinancing. So Mudra Bank is established. This Mudra Bank is to refinance the various other financing institutions like the microfinance institution, NBFCs, which are further financing the small enterprises. So to promote, to flourish entrepreneurs, to encourage entrepreneurs. So to funding the unfunded people. This is the Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana. So Mudra Bank, there's loans under three products. Under 3 names the loan is given: Sishu, Kishore and Tarun. So under Sishu, loan is given to a small entrepreneur whose loan requirement is less. So here the loan requirement is up to 50,000. For Kishore, more than 50 to 5 lakhs. For Tarun, more than 5 lakhs to 10 lakhs. So means limit, if you say the whole Mudra Yojana, a person cannot get loan for more than 10 lakh rupees. Okay, so up to 10 lakh is the maximum one. So Mudra, how it is going to operate? It is going to refinance. So Mudra Bank is refinancing through state level institutions. So Mudra will deliver the loan through NBFCs, MFIs, rural banks, district banks, nationalized banks, private banks, primary lending institution and other intermediaries. So they are not directly lending money to people. So they are financing the already existing financial institutions. So which are further financing the entrepreneurs. So the credit need is less than 10 lakh. So Mudra Bank is not refinancing agriculture sector. So give attention, pay attention here, people. So Mudra Bank is not refinancing agriculture sector under Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana, but traders of vegetables and fruits are covered under Mudra Bank scheme. So quite peculiar this clause is. So understand this one. Moreover, the interest rate on mudra is not fixed. It can vary from bank to bank, depending upon and vary from customer to customer. So depending upon the risk attached to that loan, the interest will vary. So that's why one is advised to go through all the different banks before going for mudra loan. So it says, banks are charging around base rate plus 1% to 7% minimum. No need to remember these, but you should remember that the interest rate can be higher according to risk and customer profile, and it can be different in all banks. So it is not a fixed one. Moreover, there is no subsidy given on the loan under this particular yojana. But if there is already certain capital subsidy attached to certain sector, then that can be achieved. Then that can be benefit can be taken under this scheme, right? So no separate subsidy, no separate benefit, no separate subsidy given under Mudra Yojana. But if the loan proposal is linked to some government scheme, the government is providing certain subsidy already, capital subsidy, then it will be eligible under Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana also. Right, so remember Mudra Yojana for development of micro units, MSME industries, micro units and refinance of MFIs to encourage entrepreneurship. So funding the unfunded has been the slogan of our Prime Minister when this was launched. 3 loans, Shishu, Kishore and Tarun. So see, as per the phases a person develops in his life, Shishu means baby, Kishore and then Tarun. So that's all in this chapter number 13, finance. So you can go through it once again, just give focus on the important schemes, certain important concepts that you've done it, so you can go through them as well. There is one topic I think I skipped, that is Forex. Well, I didn't intend to skip it, but I think in the flow we just skipped it. Anyways, I think it will take time. I don't know where is it. I'll just tell you by whatever I remember. Only a couple of things are given there. What constitutes a Forex? Who maintains Forex? RBI. And what constitutes Forex? So Forex comprises of foreign currency assets, gold, SDR and reserve transposition. So these are 4 components of Forex. So all these 4 are important. You need to remember all these 4. These are also given in economic survey. So listen to them once again. Find them in your India book. These are given in finance chapter. This chapter only. So Forex comprises of foreign currency assets, and this is important in fact. Foreign currency assets, gold, SDR and reserve transposition. Now what this you may not have heard about reserve transposition, not an issue. I will make you understand this term as well. First, just see, this is the decreasing order of their composition of our Forex as well. Presently Forex how much? Around $360 billion. So quite good Forex we have accumulated in the last couple of years as CAD has reduced and Forex is increasing. So how much Forex do we have right now? Somewhere around $360 billion. The question won't be asked like this. Question can be asked, which of the following comprises Forex? So these 4, and these are given in decreasing order. Another important thing is, out of these 4, as foreign currency assets. So another question can be, which of the following is the maximum proportion of Forex? That is foreign currency assets. And this foreign currency assets, in fact, they contributes around 93% of the whole Forex. So see, the majority of the Forex is in terms of foreign currency assets denominated in dollars. Then comes the turn of gold, then SDR and then reserve transposition. Okay, now I make you understand what reserve transposition is. See, every country contributes to IMF, which are part of IMF, as depending upon their quota. This quota depends upon the stature of economy and all, so many things. So different countries, they contribute to IMF. Now this contribution of a country to IMF, a part of this contribution can be in one's home currency. So for example, if India is contributing to IMF, so this contribution to IMF, a part of this can be in rupees as well. So reserve transposition is our total contribution to IMF minus our contribution in our home currency, that is rupees. So you can say that our contribution to IMF, which is not in rupees, is reserve transposition. Or in other words, our contribution to IMF in terms of reserved currencies of IMF. Now what are the reserved currencies of IMF? I believe you know this thing. So the major currencies of IMF, the reserved currencies: US dollars, pound sterling, euro, Japanese yen, and China's yuan. So now yuan has also been included as a reserved currency of IMF. So these are 5 reserved currencies of IMF. So reserve transposition is our total contribution to IMF minus subtracting our contribution in rupees or home currency. So that is RTP. So remember these things. Now come to next chapter, chapter 14. Not much is given in chapter 14, so we'll complete it quickly. In no time this will be completed. Companies Act 2013, no need to go for prelims, just remember certain things for the ethics paper, GS4 paper. So as we have seen so many fraudulence and ambiguities, lack of transparency, and very bad practices that are practiced within the private sector as well, leading to Satyam fraud. So after that case, there was a more and more demand to bring more transparency in the governance of corporates as well. So the previous Companies Act was amended, new Companies Act was brought, Companies Act now, so Companies Act 2013 was enacted, and it gave focus to corporate governance. So to bring more and more transparency in the governance procedure of the corporates. Also to ensure the interest of small shareholders is also protected. To ensure the governance occurs in the best international practices with focus on transparency. To bring a close of independent directors in the board of directors, auditors as well for the auditing purposes. There are various things given for corporate governance. So just remember a few things for ethics paper, but for now you can skip it. Same thing here. This is Serious Fraud Investigation Office. Okay, this particular office actually investigate the corporate frauds of very serious and complex nature, which needs interdepartmental coordination cooperation. So investigation of complex frauds having interdepartmental multidisciplinary ramifications. So just remember the Serious Fraud Investigation Office. Where is it? In Ministry of Corporate Affairs. Even if you forget, no need to worry a lot. Okay guys, so that's all for today's class. We've done till chapter number 14. Alright, so just revise important points only. Wherever you find certain important place that is in news important. So you have been going through, so current affairs becomes highly important for present exam, for prelims, and very important for mains. So any important meeting international where India has been a part, that becomes very highly important for our exam. How the question can be asked? Question can be asked in terms of where that particular place is. Moreover, in terms of arranging the different places, north to south, west to east. For example, Chabar port has been in news a lot. So question can be asked arranging Chabar port, so different places including Chabar. Same way as Harat has been in news. Why? Salma Dam. Right? So again question can be asked. So that's all for today's class, people. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like this video, like, subscribe to our channel, share our videos, comment in the comment section given below if you appreciate our efforts, and we'll bring next video very soon in a couple of days. Enjoy till then. Take care. Bye bye.